Hi all, Sean from Everything F1 here. Well, after its cancellation in 2020 due to COVID, F1 is finally set to make its long-awaited return to the Netherlands in 2021, with Zandvoort circuit playing host for the first time in 36 years since Niki Lauda last won there in 1985. In May of 2019, it was announced that Zandvoort would once again host Formula 1, but before that, several changes needed to be made to both improve the safety of the track and make it wide enough to accommodate the modern F1 cars. Turn 2 was repositioned and made a bit wider to allow for more runoff, while Turn 3 was given more of a banking to make it a bit faster. The Turn 11 sequence was widened to accommodate the new cars and gave more of a substantial runoff to allow DRS down that back straight. But most noticeably was the addition of the brand new 18% progressive banking in the final corner, a dramatically steep right-hander which F1 hasn't really seen the likes of since Indianapolis in the mid-2000s. Albeit this time it is a slower and shorter corner than the one at the Brickyard. And Pirelli have extensively tested for this exact corner, so there shouldn't be any issues with tyre blowouts in this banking. So far, Max Verstappen is actually the only driver to have driven laps on the circuit in its current layout, having done some demonstration runs back in 2020 using Sebastian Vettel's 2012 championship-winning RB8. However, that car is not quite comparable to the 2021 cars, so Max doesn't really have much of an advantage there beyond a bit of a real-life familiarity with the layout. Max did say at the time that the track was really cool and that the changes made it even more special than before, and I'm sure he's very excited to be racing in front of his actual home fans for the very first time. So then, with all that out of the way, let's take a full lap around the Zandvoort circuit so you can become a bit more familiar with this new old track ahead of this weekend's race. For their flying laps, drivers will exit the banking of the final turn as close to the barrier as they dare to get the longest run into the home straight and achieve the highest top speed possible down to turn 1. DRS will open just off the banking down the pit straight, and braking for turn 1 happens just before the 50 metre board. You want to take a tight line through turn 1 and straighten as much as possible to get early power on for the short run to the first left, which actually isn't a corner, with turn 2 instead being the quick fast right-hander, which then leads to the banking left-hander of turn 3. Expect various different lines throughout the weekend at this corner as drivers try to find the fastest line through this banking. Again, the next right kink isn't actually a corner, with turn 4 being a very slight left-hander taking flat out, into 5 which is also flat out and leads over the hill to the completely blind downhill right-hander of 6, which should be close to flat out for a pole lap. 7 is another fast right-hander before 8, which is a tricky long right that will actually catch drivers out quite regularly as they brake while turning, so you can expect a few clumsy lockups here throughout the weekend. 9 is a long left, with the exit being crucial again as it leads into the second DRS zone, which is itself very short. Don't expect too much overtaking here though, as no sooner will they have opened the rear wing as they'll be then slamming on the brakes into the fiddly right-left section of turns 10 and 11. Drivers want to power on early out of 11 for the short run down to 12, which is another quick but tight right-hander, where again exit is key, as from here the drivers will be completely flat out through the banked final corner and down to the finish line. And there you have it. That was quick, wasn't it? It's a very short lap, Zandvoort. It's a very narrow and fast track, which should throw up some interesting strategies, if maybe not the most amazing races, due to the short straights, limited overtaking spots, and the overall narrowness of the track. That said, forecasts do suggest we'll see rain for the second race in a row, so we can only hope that it's slightly less intense than it was at Spa, and we can actually see some racing this weekend. You can also expect Red Bull and Ferrari to probably go pretty well here this weekend if going on 2020 form so far. The circuit has similar characteristics to the likes of Baku and Monaco. Charles Leclerc was on pole officially for both of those races, while Red Bull went on to claim both victories in the hands of Perez and Verstappen. But tell us, who's your money on? Let us know in the comments section below who you think will win the Zandvoort Grand Prix this weekend. Also, if you enjoyed this video, please do like and share, as we really enjoy making this style of video for you, and we'd like to continue doing it for the remaining races of this season. Anyway, I've been Sean. Be sure to check out the Everything F1 podcast this week, wherever you get your podcasts. We've got a special two-parter interview this weekend with the legend that is Mark Gallagher. We'll review the Belgian Grand Prix, such that it was, and preview this exciting new track coming up this weekend at Zandvoort. Thank you all very much for watching. We'll see you in the next one, and enjoy the Dutch Grand Prix this Sunday.